G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well look, first up the weather report. Lovely clear days. Yeah look, the low temperature's 7 to 9 in there somewhere, and the top temperatures, we're up mid-20s. Last week we actually had 27, 28 sort of thing, so yeah, lovely, nice weather. It's it's a good bit of time to do a bit of work, and you feel like doing stuff. In summer, sometimes the humidity living on the coast here, it makes it bloody hard to chug along with it. But look, it's lovely weather. So we're enjoying it. But I've had a very busy week. This is Monday morning, and I've spent the entire weekend so far doing a clip for the Fordson TE20 hydraulic lift cover. And on our 1948 TEA20 that we're restoring, that Sparrex are sponsoring us with the parts, we've pulled the whole hydraulic cover apart, and in doing that, there's other jobs you have to do with it, like get the oxy onto the little arms and free them up, and in the process, because we're going to paint it up and have it flash as anything at the end, hopefully. Yeah, every part gets sandblasted or bead blasted, and the main cover gets, I've put a bit of Stoneleigh Grey Fergie paint on that. Stoneleigh Grey is a bit dark, but it's not going to be the original colour. It's just as you sandblast and pressure clean and that, some of the big castings, it stops a little bit of surface rust growing. So Saturday was pull that apart and inspect and all that sort of thing, and yesterday just about the entire day was cleaning parts. So after we get the stew done this morning, that'll be the rest of the day, putting that together and filming it and all that sort of thing. So then I'll be off up to the house to do a bit of editing. So I should be cleaning around here, around the machine area, you know, where my lathe and milling machine and drills and that are in my shed. Is an absolute bloody mess at the moment. I try and keep the floor swept here around it, because the little iron filings and that from milling and lathe work, which I haven't been doing much lately. I did those washes last week and that's about it, but I do try and keep the floor swept up, because old Kelly dog walks in here and you don't want her walking on sharp little bits and getting them in her pads and things like that. So I keep the floor pretty good. I sweep it a couple of times a week just around the area where she's likely to walk, but the rest of it looks like a bloody bomb went off. But anyway, not to worry. I don't know when I'm going to get to that. We're yeah, just seem busy. You have those stages in your life where some days you can just sit around and have a beer and enjoy yourself, and other days or other weekends they're just full on, and this is a full on one. And I've got a bit of a cough happening. I've got a bit of the man flu, and as all men know anyway, that's the worst disease known to man, really, the man flu. The girls seem to get a lot less aversion of it, really. Yeah, they only get a bit of a sniffle and a cough, but we get the man flu, so very serious business. But if you look over behind me here, I actually got the lathe inserts sorted out into parting and TNMG and DNMG and things like that, and there's some that I didn't have boxes for that are all in there now, and so all looking flash. But in doing that, I come across these little inserts that I bought many years ago, and look, they're not an insert. Now, when I first bought, not this Chinese lathe now, before that I had a Smithy copy lathe, which was a small lathe with a milling head that come across the top, and look, for a few jobs it was alright, but very restrictive, and yeah, it wasn't, I suppose it got me into the hobby anyway. And back then it was only a tiny 12mm tools, and there wasn't a lot of carbide insert tools available and things like that at the time. So I had a friend that had a big lathe, my big Maxon lathe here. He had its little brother out of another sugar mill, and he was telling me he used to go to the Ace Grinding in Bundaberg here, which is, he's a saw doctor. Now, Ace Grinding, you can take an end mill, you can take tungsten tipped saw blades, And the sawmill, or the sleeper cutters and the sawmill people, they take their great big blades to them and they re-tip them, and they have little tungsten tips available for doing the saws, I'm sorry. And on the tungsten tips, a lot of them already have a bit of silver solder on the back of them, so they set the blade up and they gullet it out how they want it, and for the particular job, and then they silver solder the tips on. So my mate with his big lathe, he was a tight ass, but nothing wrong with that. Like, he had some good ideas, and what he was using for lathe tools and parting off tools was these little tips. So I went and bought some, and that's tungsten carbide. That would be 4mm across. Let's have a look on my very accurate ruddy tape measure. Yep, that's a 4mm one. I have a little 3mm one. And what he used to do for a parting off blade and on his lathes was old power hacksaw blades, and you get the power hacksaw blades and he'd silver solder these to the top of them. And he would also get these tungsten tips off the saw doctor, and he'd get a bit of 1/2 inch square, and he'd just, you know, grind a little place to put one of these. And the amount of cutting that bloke could do with these little tips, and I'd forgotten all about it until I come across a little packet of tips down in the bottom of my insert box. So yeah, just brought back a memory on how he used to do it. And pardon me. And look, he was a clever bloke. On his lathe, he did all his own tractor work. He'd machine wear bushes and what he wouldn't do. With the boring bars and all, he'd made up from these little things, and he'd shape them on his grinder, and, you know, put a 60° on them for threads and all that. But I don't think he owned a tool. Well, he had HSS tools, but boy, he had a lot of these. And so yeah, it's just a bit of interesting guff. You can nearly solder one on this blade here, couldn't you? But there's on the floor. Piss poor job you don't drop something. So yeah, I thought you'd find that interesting. Just some of them do come, like I say, with the silver solder on the end of them, and that's a good thing. So you just clean up your surface, get the oxy out, and silver solder it on and shape it, and away you go. They were $2 each, those tips at the time. I remember buying them, and yeah, you gave me a handful of them for $2 each, and I made a little parting blade out of them and all that. But I'd probably let them go with that little lathe, because I don't seem to be able to find them anywhere. I was going to do a show and tell and find them and give you a look. But anyway, that's how it goes. The channel, I just jumped into the channel this morning. I uploaded a video on getting some of these knuckles out of the tractors, and I just had a look at channel specs, and for some reason it's had a big jump in the last week, and I'd never know why it does that. And some weeks you have a look and you've only picked up a couple of subscribers for the week, and you haven't got many views and all that sort of thing, and you think, oh, not to worry. But for those of you with a channel, you'll understand. But for those without, they have analytics, and it's a rolling 28 days, which is 4 weeks. And they let you know how many views, how many minutes viewed, how many new subscribers, and all that sort of thing in the last 28 days. So before Sparex come on board, I was sitting on around 35,000 views every 28 days. And with Sparex coming on board, I felt the pressure to put a few more tractor videos out, because they're helping me out, sort of thing. And look, it is a great thing. It's actually, my tractor restorations are progressing at a rate that they hadn't for some time, because, well, I haven't got to save up for the parts. They help me with that, and also I feel that I need to just keep something out there to keep it rolling along for them. And as I said last week, they took on the next 2 tractors that I bought, so it's a great thing, and I'm enjoying doing up the tractors. It's given me a new lease of life. So I find I'm doing less machining type content now, more of that. But that's just how the cookie crumbles at the time. When I need to do machining, I have front axle bushes to redo it, things like that. So that'll come up shortly. But yeah, with the views, this morning I had a look, and for the rolling 28 days, we're up over 70,000, and we picked up a heap of subscribers for some reason. And I never know why. And we just chug along and do our best out here. But I think we were 3,561 subscribers this morning. So yeah, that trickles along, and you'll have a look at it this week, and you'll have a look at it next week, and you might pick up 40 for the week or something like that. But yeah, at the moment, yeah, we've picked up 300 and something for the time. So who knows? It could be my outstanding good looks and my charming personality, but perhaps it's not either. Yeah, you never know. But look, it's a good thing, and for everyone that's subscribed and helped us out with the channel, look, thanks very much. It's a great little journey we're going along, and yeah, I'm having a bit of fun with it. So, but look, that's about all we have. I'll take you for a little walk over to where I've been cleaning up the parts, and around the sandblaster's a mess too. I've got a big hair and Fordson sandblast cabinet, and I sealed all the seams and all that, but when you put parts in and take them out and they've got a bit of sand in them and all that, you end up with a mess around there too. So I'm going to have to shortly just take a day out and have a bloody big clean up around here. So we'll see what happens with that. See if it ever happens. But in the next week or two, well, in Australia, on September 16, 17, down at Denillaquin, which is on the Victoria-New South Wales border, they're having 100 years of Fordson tractors in Australia. So the centenary of Fordson tractors coming to Australia. So in our business, Queensland Tractor Spares, we sponsor the Fordson Tractor Club, and we sponsor their newsletter that goes out to all the members all the time. And so anyway, it costs about $1,200 a year or something to do that. So it's a reasonable chunk of an advertising budget. And anyway, they invited us down to pop up a little Queensland Tractor Spares hoochie if we'd like, and sit and have a chat. So if you want to come and say g'day at the Denillaquin sports ground there, it's on the Saturday and Sunday, and we're going to have a little Queensland Tractor Spares tent there, and we're just going to have a few model toys that we brought in for it, and look, it's just a meet and greet really. We do have a lot of customers from the Fordson Tractor Club. Because we're sponsors, they support us back. So we're just going down there to give them a face, to have a chat too. And so yeah, we've got enough staff. We've put extra people on at work recently. The business has grown, and so we believe we've got enough staff there now that Judy and I can hook up the humpy on the back of the old Colorado. It seems to be going well, touch wood, and it'll be up on the hoist next week for a big service. And so yeah, look, we're going to hook that up, and we're going to spend a week getting there and a week getting home, and might look at Bendigo, and I don't know, I've always wanted to go for a paddle steamer ride at Echuca there, so I might try and fit that in too. So, but look, if you're around Denillaquin 16, 17, come and say g'day. Tell us you watch the channel and have a yarn, and yeah, just see how we go. We don't get to Victoria, well, I haven't been there for 30-something years now. It was a long time. When I was about 15, I'm 57, about 40 years, and I had grandparents down there, but they've passed on, and we haven't had a reason really to go, and with work we're just flat most of the time. So yeah, a little bird in the background. He's in the back of a lot of my videos. He comes and goes, that cheeky little bugger. But look, yeah, come and say g'day at Denillaquin. So next weekend will be our last weekend at home, and the weekend after that we'll be off, and yeah, we'll spend a week getting down there. And well, we're just going to take our time and have a look. It's around 1,700 kilometres. So yeah, about 19-20 hours drive. We're taking the caravan, so it'll take a while, but anyway, see how it goes. But look, that's all we have in the stew today. I'll take you and show you the parts I've cleaned up and things like that. But we'll catch up with you later, eh? See ya. Well, there you go. That's what a dirty lathe looks like. I sort of sweep up all around the ways here, but I need to grab all the swarth, and I've got a box that I drop it into, but there's that much swarth doing those washes we were doing last week that it's just everywhere. So the whole lathe needs a big clean up, and the whole show needs a tidy up really. I've got junk everywhere. But anyway, I suppose I should take the time and get into it. And this is a blast cabinet. This is where we've been doing all the Fergie parts. And yeah, on the floor ends up filthy. I've got an air nozzle that fell on the floor, so yeah, the old shop's looking a bit of a mess, so I need to take time to clean it all up and get going. These are very dusty things. I'm going to look at another place to put this, because I have shelves with a couple of kits in it over here, and they end up with a slight dusty, make that not so slight, dusty film on them. So I'll probably have to shift this in time, I believe. Look, another thing I've been mucking around with this week is this is the tappet cover off the little grey Fergie. I'll try and get it where the picture looks the same as what we're doing. Now I'll try it over there. Yeah, look, that's not too bad. You see this paint around the outside here as opposed to this strip here. Now, a lot of people say the grey paint on the Fergie is Stoneleigh grey, and I've often thought it was a little bit dark. So anyway, I have been using some Stoneleigh grey, and the Sparex Stoneleigh Grey's S82113 MF Stoneleigh grey, and they bring out aerosols with that, and that's what I did this tappet cover with, an aerosol. Now, on looking at it, and we've got some models recently, and as I mentioned earlier, we've taken some model tractors down to Denillaquin, so we matched the paint on the models because the people making the models wouldn't want it wrong, and so that light grey there is just about exactly, if I can get a good view of it, is just about exactly the right shade, and that turns out to be Sparex number. I'll see if I can get there and not wash it out. No, I need a good cameraman, really. There we go. S82114 is the Massey light grey, so the S82114 is a far better match to the paint than the S82113. So there you go. That's just something I've been fiddling with, trying to get it right for the final production or the final finishing of the tractor. Look, while we're here, look at all this. I'll take these paint cans out of the way. That little story's finished with now. And look, there's a hydraulic top cover on a Ferguson tractor, all stripped down and cleaned up, ready for the assembly videos. And that's this morning's job. That top cover, I had a few pressure packs of the Stoneleigh grey, so that's painted in the Stoneleigh grey. Then if we look around the back, that grey there is just a zinc primer. But yeah, man, that took a lot of time, just tidying up the bushes, and I still have a few bolts to clean up, but there was a lot of wear in that bit there, but I was lucky enough to have a new yoke out in the paddock there to go and get, so there you go. That's this morning's work. Assemble that, video it, and have a chat about what we do, when we do it, and all the little potholes to fall into.